guys, I am Yolanda and I am here with Kent from Novus Detox.
Yes.
Hey Kent.
Hello.
How's it going?
Very well.
Good, good. Thank you so much for coming in today to
Of
share
course.
with us about the services that you guys offer.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah. So Novus Medical Detox is local and to the Tampa Bay area.
We are.
Right.
We
and
are.
how long have you guys been providing services in the Tampa Bay area? And
Yeah,
you've got a couple of different locations.
For more than 12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so share with our community about what brought you to Novus and what you guys do there.
Yeah. So for me personally, I came out of social services. Started my career 8 years ago. For 8 years, I was in the state system, working with persons coming out of prison,
Right.
Reentry kind of work.
Right.
And that moved me into not-for-profit sector, where for another 17 years, working with persons re-entering the community from prison, many of them having addiction issues, and where we actually did outpatient treatment with those individuals,
Right.
and just working with a variety of populations, from homeless veterans to low-income seniors. And then I was looking at relocation, had an opportunity to talk with leadership here at Novus. And they were looking to go into that next chapter as a company and to begin looking at expansion. And that was experience that I had expanding with previous organizations. So that brought me to Novus 6 years ago.
All of these worlds kind of interweave a bit because we were talking about these different agencies, different community organizations that you had served, different people in our community that you've served. And then with a common kind of underlying thread of some addiction.
Correct.
We focus on trauma, so there's a lot of times co-occurring trauma and addiction, right?
Right.
And so what makes a detox facility like Novus different than other so this is like a next level treatment for addiction, right? When someone is dependent on a substance. Can you share a little bit more about, the distinguishing factor of detox?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's funny, in my previous 17 years in the not-for-profit sector, I was referring out to detox frequently.
Right.
We would have individuals like homeless veterans brought to us for services, and we would identify them as needing detox before that we could serve them.
Right.
So the difference
because when the substance use becomes go ahead.
Yeah. So we're a subacute medical detox. So we're really a 24-hour medical clinic. So what really stands us apart is, and what the services that we offer is for those providers who are maybe were reached by a client that is ready to make a change and get into services, but they recognize that medically they're not safe to be in any other environment at that time. That's really where we come in to get them either to confirm that they're medically stable. So that's one service that we offer is medical stabilization, or sometimes they call it observation. So they may come to us for maybe just 24 hours.
And then you say they're good, they can go back.
Right, so our medical team will assess after interviewing them, doing some breath testing and those kind of activities, and then just observation of their vital signs for a period of time. Then our medical team will say, yes, they're stable to really go that next level of care. Yeah,
because a lot of times there might not be an understanding that there can be substance use and then there can be addiction. And then when there's a physical component, at some point the addiction becomes so physically compromising to a person's health that they do need medical monitoring to be able to come off of the substance.
One thing, just on this topic, something a lot of people don't recognize is alcohol is really the most dangerous substance that we detox persons from, as far as risk of serious medical complications related to that withdrawal from alcohol.
Can you say more about that? Because I think that would take a lot of people by surprise, right? Like you said.
Yeah. So, of course, seizure risk is the one that we always look out for. That there's going to be some serious consequences of someone going into a seizure,
Mm-hmm.
which happens
Yeah.
when someone maybe tries to quit cold turkey at home.
Mm-hmm.
There can be serious risk of going into a seizure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the main things our medical team looks for is monitoring vitals very closely,
Right.
and what they're reporting to us, and making sure they're medicated at the right level.
Mm-hmm.
To
So they can
safely
safely come. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's really the key there.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course we do labs and
Okay.
see what kind of liver function or any kind of liver enzyme levels, and see
Right.
if there's anything there that's a concern.
Yeah.
And sometimes we may need to get someone out for further medical evaluation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's been times our medical team has identified people even at our front door
Mm-hmm.
that their medical health had been so compromised
Right. They need a
that
higher
we
level
need to
of
get
care.
them to a hospital really
Okay.
for further assessment. And then
Mhm.
frequently we get them back
Mm-hmm.
to our center.
Yeah. After they.
But they actually need to be in the hospital
Right.
for 24, 48 hours to get
Yeah.
stabilized there and
It's
get some
pretty
further
serious.
tests.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
So alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
What are some other substances that you guys help people to detox from?
Yeah. These days it's an evolving
Yeah, we were
field.
just kind of chatting about this
Yeah.
before we came on.
Yeah. So what we're really well known for
Mhm.
is high dose methadone.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing that for a number of years. We've been blessed to have the same medical director for our entire existence.
Mm-hmm. That
So-
says a lot.
So he's
Yeah.
developed our protocols and really refined them.
Yeah.
And so he has a great relationship with our nursing team, and
Awesome.
they really work in concert on our protocols, standing orders to do high dose methadone detox in a more comfortable way,
Mm-hmm.
and also manage the time frame and length of stay, which
Mhm.
is case by case. We really focus on individualized care.
Yeah.
The age comes into play, metabolism,
Mm-hmm.
even pain tolerance.
Right.
Some people can kind of go through it
Right.
more quickly
Sure.
and a little less comfortably
Right.
to get through it more quickly.
Right.
Others, that's just not really in the cards. They
Right.
they can't manage that, and we have to go a little bit slower.
Mm-hmm.
So we do that case by case. So high dose methadone for sure, opiates, opioids, everything
Mhm.
from the IV heroin
Right.
user to the prescription pain
Mm-hmm.
user that is where it's become a problem.
Right.
Even
yeah.
if it's in compliance with their medical prescription,
Right.
We see
Yeah.
that dependency.
I think that can be a confusion for people that they can to have the understanding that they can be prescribed something,
Yeah,
and over a period of time, whether it's opiates, opioids, benzodiazepines, these different medications that even though you're taking as prescribed,
Yeah.
they can become an issue for you after you've taken them for a period of time.
yeah. As we were talking earlier, I've been doing a lot of public speaking around older adults and use disorder, and that's what we're seeing. We see frequently 60 and 70-year-old adults who've been prescribed benzodiazepines, prescription painkillers, and they take it as prescribed.
Right.
They're not
Yeah,
they're
not doing
cheating.
anything wrong.
They're not buying anything off the street. They're
Right,
taking a
yeah.
prescription,
Yeah.
and they don't like the side effects, or they're coming up on a medical procedure, and they need to get off, or maybe their doctor has finally recognized
It's not benefiting anymore.
yeah, we need to get you off these
Yeah.
pain medications,
Yeah.
see what your pain is now,
Yeah.
and see if there's an alternative approach, alternative
Sure.
therapy for this.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of that work with
Wonderful.
those individuals. And you mentioned the benzodiazepines, so
Yeah.
Xanax, we see a lot, sleep medications.
Yeah.
And then, we're starting to see things like kratom, sometimes marijuana. Usually it's
Sure.
it's usually a poly drug issue
Right.
when we're seeing those substances.
Right.
And those are very individualized protocols and approaches.
When you say polydrug, can you share what you mean by that?
Yes. So frequently what we're seeing, really it's the exception when we don't, is someone who's like someone coming with alcohol problem is probably also on a benzodiazepine, a Xanax. So
Right.
we're really detoxing them from Xanax and the
The
alcohol.
combination. Yeah.
Even someone coming on a painkiller,
Yeah.
they're on an oxycodone and Valium, Xanax, Klonopin.
Yeah, because over a period of time, oxycodone isn't as effective for them anymore. They need some other things to help, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So those are those are really the home base that we see.
Yeah.
And then of course I think we're going to start seeing more and more cannabis.
Right.
We know cannabis is addictive, and people do struggle if they want to quit at times if they've been taking it on
For
a
a
regular
period of
basis
time.
over a long period of time. There are withdrawal
Right.
challenges with coming off. But that's not something that we do a lot of, but we see it along with other substances.
Sure. Now, I had the opportunity to visit the Novus campus here in the Tampa area, and it was you guys have such a peaceful, calm. We were talking about settings and surroundings and how beneficial just the environment, can be to a person's well-being, and that definitely is something that you guys have in your campus. So can you speak a little bit more about, your, you have the facility here in Tampa, you also have one in South Florida as well,
yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
What sets you guys apart with what you're doing in the detox field?
Yeah, that's really what attracted me to Novus.
Yeah.
6 or so years ago. I'd only worked for government and not-for-profit sector, so I was very cautious coming into,
You're like, I don't know
the
about
private
this.
sector.
Yeah.
And so I want to make sure I was coming to an organization that I knew the mission was attractive,
Was in alignment
but that
with
we were
your
living
values.
the mission.
Yeah.
And that's what it's been.
Yeah.
Frequently, to share with some of our leadership team that we're really a for-profit with a not-for-profit heart.
Yeah.
And so the things I've seen, we talk about the Novus difference sometimes. One is an investment in property, into our environment. We don't want to even resemble a hospital wing.
Yeah, and it doesn't.
Yeah, so often, and a part of that is we want to make it easy for someone to say yes to starting their recovery. We recognize we're that first step in their recovery journey. So if they arrive at our front doors and are immediately turned off, frightened, feel unsafe, feel uncomfortable, they don't have a shot at moving forward in their recovery journey.
Right.
So we know we have to be, we feel like it's our obligation to make it easy for that first step. So part of that is environment. We strive for a spa-like environment that encourages tranquility, peacefulness, relaxation. Because let's be honest, detox is hard work.
Yeah.
It's not
And brave work.
It's not. Yes, it takes courage.
Yeah.
There's going to be some rough patches where you're not going to feel that great, both physically and emotionally. What we find is the first 2 to 3 days may be some physical challenges, but then it begins to transition into the emotional challenges of the fear of letting go of that substance that has been blocking bad feelings. So we start seeing those emotions come to the surface, the trauma, the grief. All those things that they've been really self-medicating and dampening down are now coming to the surface, and we need to then really be ready to start getting them ready for that next step in their recovery journey to get them into a clinical environment where they can process those very real feelings and emotions and factors in their recovery. So part of that is we want to manage the withdrawal symptoms very effectively. So one of the things that we do that's different about Novus is we don't just use effective medications, which we do, but we layer on top of those medications natural remedies. So we do everything from essential oils, diffusers, to we use naturals that help with sleep, help with different symptoms of withdrawal, from including anxiety, some of the discomfort, the achiness, the restless legs, so that there's always something that we can throw at those symptoms, even between their medication dosages. We also work with a Dr. Runyon medicine. We use some products that he's developed over the years. I've also been working with him for over a decade as well. And he has some great products that have proven effective with some of our clients.
It's a very holistic approach,
It is.
right? And some supplements, and then nutrition as well. I was able to have lunch while I toured the facility, and it was wonderful. You know,
we do IV therapy. That's extremely rare in the detox field. Because we recognize that one of the things that we're frequently combating, especially with alcohol detox, is dehydration.
Right.
I don't know about you, but I struggle to drink
Enough
all the water I'm
right.
supposed to drink. I mean, healthy adults struggle with consuming
Right.
the water we're supposed to take. But if you're consuming a liter of vodka or a case of beer every day, how do you possibly consume the water you're supposed to consume?
You know, yeah.
So the IVs help with hydrating the body, taking those symptoms.
Taking some of those, it can be very uncomfortable.
Dehydration alone brings a lot of bad symptoms.
Yeah.
So we want to take those kind of off the table with not only getting them to drink a lot of healthy fluids while they're with us, but also infusing with some healthy. So it's infused with a variety of ingredients, aminos, and supplements to help fast track some of their nutrition.
Right.
So our patients love those. They really feel that
They feel
they enjoy it while they're
after
getting
it,
it, but the next day they really seem to
Yeah.
really get some benefit.
Yeah.
So that's a big factor. And then just of course we're so thoughtful about our staff.
Yeah.
We're very thoughtful about who we bring into the team. We want to remove all judgment.
Yeah.
All those. We want people to feel like we talk about. Be proud of yourself that you had the courage to start this journey and this process. And do this with us. So we really want to come alongside the patient and have nurses and all of our staff, from food service to housekeeping, they're all working in a united way to make every single patient feel like their needs are important, they're being addressed, and whatever they need that will make a difference, we're willing to do it. If that means running to the store and buying some really good shampoo or conditioner, or get a magazine that they want to read, anything that will make their journey a little bit easier and keep them engaged, and that we want to do it. So we really customize it that way.
Yeah, and I definitely got that feel while I visited too. It's great. Yeah.
And as you saw, our patients another part of our property is we want our patients to be able to go outside. Yeah. Of course, we don't want to encourage our patients to smoke, but the reality is probably well over 80% of our patients are smokers.
Right.
And what we talk about is, of course, down the road, we hope that they will
you make
choose
some decisions about that, but right
it's
now,
probably not going to be today.
right now, there are bigger fish to fry.
So we want them to be able to go outside when they want and need, and be able to get some fresh air. So we actually have a walking path that they can enjoy, and a gazebo,
some outside space.
Yeah,
it's very nice.
Yeah, so they don't feel cooped up, and they can enjoy some of the good Florida
and a
weather.
little gym there too. All kinds of music, right?
We do some yoga classes through the week. We have massage that comes in by appointment, some acupuncture.
Yeah.
So those services are available.
Very holistic. That's what I appreciate about what you guys are doing.
And we really want to educate them on those things.
Yeah, because this is going forward. These are going to be the things that are going to help with all of our well-being, right? Taking these things into account.
Our philosophy is we want it to prepare them for success beyond our doors. So they get morning supplements, afternoon supplements, along with it. So I talk frequently about we want to hit home runs when it comes to hydration, nutrition, and sleep. Those are three things are just so fundamental. We want to hit home runs with those three. Yeah. And of course, we know we have to do really well with our protocol, but that's almost a given. We know we've got effective protocols. Right. We know we have fantastic staff. But let's make sure we hit a home run.
Especially if you lay that foundation and people have that going back out into their lives. That's a good resource, a good foundation to have.
Yeah.
So if people have questions about Novus, we have the Facebook link now. I have not added the website, but I will as soon as we finish.
Great.
But what's the best way for people to reach out if someone who's watching now has a challenge with addiction, or if they have a loved one who really needs some detox before it ends very badly?
Sure. Certainly go to our website, novusdetox.com.
Okay.
And there you'll find a 1-800 line, and that actually goes right to our admissions line. We have admissions coordinators standing by that can talk about finances and what's a good fit for us and what's not. And what we try and do is always the right call. So even if we're not the best fit
Right.
in the circumstances, we're going to try and get you
Direct
to the right
people
place.
to that, yeah.
So we'll direct to some other area resources. But I think the best first step is our website, novusdetox.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Kent Runyon, VP of Novus.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for
Sure.
sharing this information about what you guys are doing,
Yeah.
and thank you for the work that you're doing.
Yeah. Thanks for
Saving
having me.
lives. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate
All
it.
right, guys. Thanks so much. Have a good day. Check out Novus.